thought we'd have the 153 text, so we'll go halfway through. Here we go then. You cannot attain pure prayer while entangled in material things and agitated by constant cares. For prayer means the shedding of all these thoughts. A man who is tied up cannot run, nor can the intellect, that is a slave to the passions, perceive the realm of spiritual prayer, for it is dragged about by impassioned thoughts and cannot stay still. When the intellect attains prayer that is pure and free from passion, the demons attack no longer with sinister thoughts, but with thoughts of what is good, for they suggest to it an illusion of God's glory in a form of pleasing to the senses, so as to make it think that has realized the final aim of prayer. The man who possesses spiritual knowledge has said that this illusion results from the passion of self-esteem and from the demon's touch on a certain area of the brain. I think that the demon, by touching this area, changes the light surrounding the intellect as he likes. In this way, he uses the passion of self-esteem to stir up in the intellect a thought which fatuously attributes form and location to divine and principal knowledge. Not being disturbed by impure and carnal passions, but supposing itself to be in a state of purity, the intellect imagines that there is no longer any adverse energy within it. It then mistakes for a divine manifestation the appearance produced in it by the demon, who cunningly manipulates the brain and converts the light surrounding the intellect into a form as we have described. When the angel of God comes to us with his presence alone, he puts an end to all adverse energy within the intellect and makes it light energized without illusion. The statement in the Apocalypse that the angel brought incense and offered it with the prayers of the saints refers, I think, to this grace which is energized through the angel, for it instills knowledge of true prayer, so that the intellect stands firm, free from all agitation, listlessness, and negligence. The bowls of incense which the 24 elders offered are said to be the prayers of the saints. By a bowl should be understood friendship with God or perfect spiritual love, whereby prayer is energized in spirit and in truth. When you think that you do not need tears for your sins during prayer, reflect on this. You should always be in God, and yet you are still far from him. Then you will weep with greater feeling. Surely then, when you do realize where you are, you will gladly sorrow, and like Isaiah, will reproach yourself, because being unclean and dwelling in the midst of an unclean people, that is, of enemies, you dare to stand before the Lord of hosts. If you pray truly, you will gain great assurance. Angels will come to you as they came to Daniel, and they will illuminate you with knowledge of the inner essences of created things. Now that the holy angels encourage us to pray and stand beside us, rejoicing and praying for us, Therefore, if we are negligent and admit thoughts from the enemy, we greatly provoke the angels. For while they struggle hard on our behalf, we do not even take the trouble to pray to God for ourselves, but we despise their services to us, and abandoning their Lord and God, we consort with unclean demons. Pray gently and calmly, sing with understanding and rhythm. Then you will soar like a young eagle high in the heavens. Psalmody calms the passions and curbs the uncontrolled impulses of the body, and prayer enables the intellect to activate its own energy. Prayer is the energy which accords with the dignity of the intellect. It is the intellect's true and highest activity. Psalmody appertains to the wisdom of the world of multiplicity. Prayer is the prelude to the immaterial knowledge of the One. Spiritual knowledge has great beauty. It is the helpmate of prayer, awakening the noetic power of the intellect to contemplation of divine knowledge. If you have not yet received the gift of prayer or psalmody, persevere patiently, and you will receive it. And he spake a parable to them to this end, that men ought always to pray and not to lose heart. So do not lose heart and despair, because you have not received the gift of prayer. You will receive it later. In the same parable we read, though I do not yet fear God or man's opinion, yet because this widow keeps troubling me, I will vindicate her. Similarly, God will speedily vindicate those who cry out to him day and night. Take heart then, and persevere diligently in this holy prayer. You should wish for your affairs to turn out, not as you think best, but according to the will of God. Then you will be undisturbed and thankful in your prayer. Even if you think you are with God, be on your guard against the demon of unchastity, for he is very wily and jealous. He tries to outwit the activity of the watchfulness of your intellect and to draw it away from God when it stands before him with reverence and with fear. That's powerful stuff from the Vigorous.